We're here, everybody. Carson, are you ready? Are you ready for some NA WarCraft?
Oh, yeah. Hopefully it isn't a meme. Hopefully it is after today. You know, a new generation, something that people can look up to. No more NA lol in the chat, Neil.
We'll see about that. The three-time regional champion of the Americas, then defeated in the regional finals against Cruncher. He's coming for vengeance. It's Hitman. His opponent, a little unlucky boy whenever he traveled to China with us. I hope he has a little more luck on these maps right here playing from home. Is Hunter.
A player's forces are under attack.
And just like that, we're ready for map number 1.
We had already a pretty quick exchange in the middle. Hitman went for a peon scout, and Hunter built a shop with a scout wisp to aggro the red camp to ensnare and kill the scout peon. So right now, Hitman's flying blind. This is a very heads-up play from Hunter.
Pretty sweet, man. Maybe he was hiding strategies. Blade Master it is. Of course, creeping up a little bit on the other side, Keeper of the Grove. I was a little worried for Hunter to just play Demon Hunter still, but that is certainly not the case anymore. Keeper all the rage, even in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see there's definitely a lot of sort of trees of different strategies you can go to as the Night Elf player. We recently even saw Infi playing Hippogriff Riders against Hitman on ladder and defeating him. So there's plenty, if you know what Ricky says is true and Hunter does have some hidden strategies for us, there's plenty of avenues to go down with the Keeper of the Grove first. But so far, pretty standard for both players. Hitman's going to get the level 2. Hunter already has his level 2. And he's going for that early third Moonwell. I wonder if he's going to go for Keeper Talons at all. That's something we haven't seen from him a lot, but we're definitely going to see 2 peon kills already for Hunter. That's pretty nice.
Wow, not bad indeed. Of course, he's investing a little bit of mana, but that should all be fine. Talents is something we usually see on Last Refuge, or sometimes see on Last Refuge, I'd rather say. But you know what, in NA, everything is a little wild, everything is a little off meta, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see it here on CH as well.
Wards is going to be great for Hitman. He's going to get a full scout on that Keeper, and he can even, you know, Hunter can't really see the Blade Master sees him. He's going to go for a Moonwell scout, and he's going to go for a Moonwell kill rather, and Hunter's going to have to cancel that, but he's already got 3 up. I mean, he's going to be fine. He's actually going to come back to defend it because his Wisps would be a little bit exposed otherwise, but Hitman's going to see everything going on. He's going to see no Hunt Hall, no extra archers, no Huntresses, of course, because of the lacking Hunt Hall, so he knows what's going on now. It's either going to be lures or wins. It's just a question of what it's actually going to be.
Oh, yeah, I think he was right around the timing when he could have seen the Huntress Hall. Yep. If he builds it now, it would be late, and Hitman makes double sure to get that information. Nighttime falls, and so far, everything okay, especially since the Keeper is not level 3.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good for Hitman so far. Not a lot of exchanges other than that Moonwell cancel, but yeah, only 1 archer for Hunter. Very much investing into probably what will be an early tier 3 tech and a Demon Hunter second. But no archers. This means the Ancient War could have already walked over to that lab, and he could have been creeping with it, but maybe not as proactive as he could be. A blind dust to get that ward that he knew was placed, but he doesn't find it.
There's an excellent ward on the left-hand side. There's an excellent ward in the middle of the base. Hitman has his eyes everywhere, knows where his opponent is going, and continues creeping here. Does have the time to go closer and closer to level 3, but same kind of goes for Hunter as well. Wisp gets detonated. Sees, well, there's a hero in production. He reaches tier 2. Spirit Lodge is coming. So far, so standard. But if we look into the base, you guys were absolutely right, and that's why we got you here for the American region. Ancients of Wind, number 1 and number 2. Demon Hunter second. Time for some talents.
Talons it will be, but does Hunter know that Hitman has a style worked out for this? Hitman said himself, if the Night Elf goes Panda second against this, what we're going to see from Hitman in this game, tier 3 tech with Demolishers and with a Tinker third is what he's going to go against Talons. If there's a Panda second from Hunter, Hitman has to go pure grunt shaman is what he told me himself, but Hunter's gonna go for that Demon Hunter second with the talents, so we're gonna see the Hitman style, Neil. We're gonna see the Burning Oil Demolishers with the Tinker third, mark my words.
Okay, it feels like I've seen everything today. I've seen a million Liquid Fire Bad Riders, so yeah, give me that Burning Oil Demolisher. That was something we saw a bit in previous seasons by guys like Incinerator and sometimes Kiwi, but yeah, the more Burning Oil, the more Demolishers, the better.
Yeah, it's a very exciting style. Level 3 Blade Master's pretty exciting for Hitman as well, but the Demon Hunter, the female Demon Hunter comes in, gets that sweet mana burn, 50 on that Blade Master, but the chase is on, and Hunter's trying to go away. He hasn't really been able to do much damage or get that Keeper level 3 quite yet. It would take another green camp, but for now, of course, Hunter's just trying to buy time for the talons that are coming up, and the Tier 3 almost done. The one question for Hunter now is, what will the third hero be? It could be, you know, probably a Tinker third, but there's maybe a couple other options, an Alchemist possibly as well.
Yeah, that's my question as well. Old school style would definitely be Tinker, but back then it was a very different Pocket Factory, so I wonder how effective that still is, and if it's really necessary, especially when Burning Oil comes into play. Then an Alchemist would be great for some additional healing, and there is Tier 3. Shaman are coming, so very good chance for Bloodlust once again. And just Hunter can't get this Keeper off the ground. He's still closing in on level 3, but okay, we get the Tinker confirmed.
There's the Tinker, but the Keeper is the one taking a lot of damage despite being the highest leveled hero. There's going to be no Entangle used on the Blade, of course, because there's a Staff of Teleportation to just get out if he went for a Surround Hunter. But the Burrows could possibly be exposed. Of course, there's not going to be reinforced defenses for quite a while, but only one Talon is not quite enough magic damage. Maybe enough, in fact, to get one Burrow. Actually, decent surface area taken up by those Treants. Maybe this could be a Burrow kill. That's pretty nice for Hunter, but he's going to have to Town Portal.
He's got to be so careful with this Keeper, and he does. Wow, excellent execution by Hunter. As he gets the Burrow, keeps Hitman's supply blocked with only the TP. Was a good impact, and he wasn't ready for a fight at all, so he's still on Adapt. He just makes sure that his Tier 3 is rolling with Master Training and possibly some orbs, and Hitman didn't feel like he was ready, despite having all the information for the majority of the time.
Yeah, there has been a couple of mistakes from Hunter. He's been nice with the details, and he's nice with the aggression as well, but hasn't moved that Ancient of War yet to the lab, which would be nice. Forgot his shop, so he doesn't have Orb or Staff for Preservation currently, which would be beautiful on that Keeper. So a couple of missing components for the flow of the game for Hunter, but still he's going to look for a fight, because of course there's only Grunts and Shamans, and the wards, if dealt with, are the only counter to these Talons right now, Neil.
This is so interesting, because you have to dispel against Treants, against Entangle, and against Cyclone, plus there's mana burn, so you don't have much to deal with, especially when you're only on 2 to 3 Shaman. They did have some time to gather mana, and there's static defense and Serpent Wards, of course, but can he deal with all this is the question.
Yeah, Bestiary coming up, reinforced defense is about 30%. This is a good timing for Hunter to be aggressive. You just imagine if he had that orb right now, this would be excellent. He could be poking away at those Grunts and those Shamans, but the wards eventually, the Snake Pit gets up, that's 4 on the ground, and you can't engage into that, so although some time has been bought, but what for? Because Hitman's the one that's getting stronger, and you know Hunter's not really going to get a lot stronger.
Absolutely true. Hitman is just waiting for his upgrades now, for Orb, for maybe you're right, and he goes for Demolisher's Burning Oil. Demolisher is coming already. Shaman Master, Kodo upgrades, maybe even a Tiny. So yeah, Hunter has to push now while his iron is still hot.
Yeah, but the reinforcements kicked in now, so you can't go for that forward burrow that he was able to get before, but he has a potion of vulnerability and a heal scroll, which is great. Still really missing that orb, but he's going to get a Grunt Hunter. But now there's a Demolisher in the back, and although you may be able to hold this strong position before you're in range of the burrows, the Demolisher can poke away all day.
Could you expand behind this as Hunter?
A town is under siege.
I think that would be a great play. I think that's something he could have done much earlier, but actually what we're seeing instead is a single early Chimera Roost. This is, of course, a typical transition against Demolishers for the Night Elf, but not this early generally. This is an extremely early Chimera Roost.
Okay, keeps him contained, and yeah, Chimera's hard counter, 2 Grunts, 2 Shaman, 2 Demolishers, and there's barely any anti-air. Kodos is coming. Okay, Grunts are melting against all this magic damage, of course. Fighting level 3 on the Keeper, 10 minutes in. Second Grunt down, and it feels like the longer the game goes, the more is, the realer is the struggle for Hitman.
Yeah, for sure. There will be Bat Riders, and it only takes 2 to kill those Chimeras when there's no upgrades, and of course there is no Huntress Hall, so there is a counter potentially. It's going to take about a minute to get those 2 Bat Riders out, though, for Hitman, so... You know, if this does blindside Hitman and he gets, for instance, 2-3 Demolishers caught out of position, this is really where Hunter can push forward and have a lot of momentum, perhaps with that expansion that you mentioned. And I think that'd be a great play for him in the future. But of course, with the Talons alone, he can creep really fast. And Hitman still doesn't even have Shadow Hunter level 3, but that Wisp, oh no! That Wisp is enough. There's Shadow level 3.
Okay, and this is dangerous now. The Talons get a little PTSD from all the shockwaves they received in prior meta games. Crow form mass evacuation. Haven't seen that in a while. One went down because of Ensnare, but all the others are safe on the cost of some mana. So probably worth it. They will heal up now, and this is actually really good to snipe the Radric. I keep on telling Remo how good this is against heavy magic air, like Griffins, for example. There you saw it.
Yeah.
2 volleys and boom, gone is the Radric.
That's crazy. He could just straight up take all 3 red camps if Hitman allows him to, Hunter. That's great. 2 volleys, like you say, it is dead. I've never seen that before. And a little bit of mana, but of course, if you're just creeping, you're happy to just regenerate that mana. So now 2 of 3 red camps going to Hunter. And the third one could even be contested potentially. Hitman, of course, creeping himself, gonna get... What did he get there? He got a Wand of Mana Sizzling, not too bad, but of course the red camp items are much stronger with this Lion Horn for Hunter. The double aura.
Unholy Aura, exactly. And having Unholy Aura is pretty damn good for the HP regen. Again, what is now Burning Oil. What a unique game this is.
Yeah, this is the new Hitman style, and until people figure out how to beat it, it's the Panda second to beat it. But you know, until people figure that out, this will work against both lores actually, and against Talons. If Hitman plays on point, he's going to catch out one of those Talons, but he is going to eventually Hitman get at least 1 red camp for himself. There's the Tinker third, so all things coming together. But you know, Hunter, he's getting Chimeras, he's breaking upkeep. He managed to bank 1,500 gold. I would say, again, the only thing he's missing is 1 or 2 orbs, which, if he bought that first orb earlier, the second one will be off cooldown already, so he'd have double orbs, but he's really going to be hurting without that second orb.
This game reminds me of my favorite game of all time, was Moonverse Focus on Turtle Rock back in the day.
Right.
Extreme Masters, also thanks to ESL, Extreme Masters 2009 in Chengdu, when in the end there was 2 Tinker Ultimates. Since then, probably for like 12 years, I haven't seen double Tinker third. This is nuts.
Yeah, Tinker third is a really fun choice. Is it the best choice against all the magic damage? Of course, Pocket Factory's now having heavy armor as opposed to medium armor. Is it the best choice? Especially not the best choice if you get caught out of position with an entangle. That could be a dead third hero for Hitman. But as long as he gets a Pocket Factory off before the fight, it's not the end of the world. But losing a Kodo perhaps is. A Town Portal out for Hitman. Playing it really close here. Is he going to get everything out? He does. A clutch TP for Hitman. Nicely done by him.
The 2 Chimeras catch the Demolisher off guard. So now we got super heavy air. In general, we have like mass Night Elf air without hippos in the mix. This is crazy. Chimeras, Fairy Dragons, maybe even Crow form. This is so much damage. Hitman is struggling. 60 supply. These Bat Riders have to collide big time. Get a good one?
Ooh.
But not even a single kill.
Yeah, like I said, it takes 2 to kill a Chimera, and he only had 2. He's got another one coming in, so it could snipe this one. A heal scroll, though, going to ensure that one keeps alive for a while. The Pocket Factories side by side, but the anti-air is just not there for Hitman. Hunter's pushing forward, and he's about to have level 3 on the Demon Hunter for level 2 mana burn. No Town Portal, everything's dying. Hunter might be doing it in game 1.
Everything is melting. The Shadowhunter's in a world of trouble, getting
Oh my
blocked
God.
by that Tinker. A wonderful game. Batriders continue to detonate here. There was a scroll of the beast that is plus 13 damage on Chimeras, and he is literally killing every single thing that Hitman has. This is enough. Like, we had all the favorites prevailing in Europe, and my lord, is America once again different from the main region. What the hell?
You know it's bad. You know it's bad when you're going into headhunters to counter chimeras 15 minutes into the game. It's very rough. There's no gold. This is 60 supply against 35. I don't think there's anything. Corrosive breath on the burrows. There's no way. There's no way.
I cannot believe my eyes. He's just slaughtering these burrows. Shadowhunter isn't even remotely back yet. 4-3-3 heroes. It took forever to get online, but he is seriously online. And Tangle, focus fire, the potion saves him for a little bit, but I don't know, man.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Oh my god, the burrows are putting in work, and overextension from Hunter would be very sad to see, but of course it's hard to overextend when you have these these siege damage chimeras up in the air that are now going to kill the altar, and the Shadowhunter is really the only hope for the American. A Batrider comes in, almost killing that second of 3 chimeras in total we saw this game, but there's just no units. The repair's in, but will the Shadowhunter be able to make it out? I doubt it.
Corrosive breath, very, very good. Maybe a little too early to let go of that focus fire. And here we go. Altar of Storms down. Shadowhunter won't see the light of day. Blade Master very fired, and Chimera attacks on him. There's absolutely no way. He's cycloning the peons to let him have Hitman not mining. He's at 19 gold. He can't barely repair anymore.
Hitman trying his best. He has come back in, better situations. Certainly not worse situations than this. This would be very, very unlikely, but, kudos for trying, but the Tinker's gonna fall soon. The Blade Master's gonna soon fall as well to the Orb of the Keeper, and we're going into map 2 with the, arguably the underdog here, being up 1-0.
Okay, to anyone who said just another victory for Hitman, no. This is a very, very different American region. GG, and Hunter takes map number 1.
Okay. This is what I'm talking about, man. The first game of the American region, and we got an upset already. This is beautiful. This is what I want to see, man. This is what I've been hoping to see. Awesome.
Hey, Carson, he was hiding new builds. He didn't do that on Monday, that's for sure.
No, he didn't.
That was a really sick game. That was the fastest Chimera Roost I've probably ever seen in Elf versus Orc in years. Skipping the expansion, not even thinking about it. Carson, what do you think about this approach to the Hitman build? I really feel like Hitman's bestiary is so late when he does this. And, I mean, you can't really time that Chimera Roost being so early, but wow, that was, what do you think about that style from Hunter?
Yeah, it's a little bit unorthodox. Of course, with that sort of pressure, the obvious answer would be to just expand behind it, which Neil pointed out correctly during the game. Like, why isn't he expanding? Which I would have expected as well. Even if I was in Hitman's shoes, I'm sure I would have been expecting that. But the 43 supply, I believe it was Chimera Roost, is... I think if the scouting was a bit more on point for Hitman, which he did try to, he scouted with 2 peons, but didn't have a later peon to scout with. Maybe he could have reacted. The bestiary, if he has 4 bats ready and there's only 1 chimera in the air, you can buy orb and deal with the 3rd chimera. But Hitman just wasn't prepared, and he has the town portal out, and then he can't afford, because he bought the town portal, to get more bats, and it just spirals out of control. And we'll see if Hunter continues the style into game 2, because it looked really strong from Hunter.
Unbelievable. Crow form talents killing that Drake into chimeras. Wonderful. A wonderful game. We give Hitman a couple of minutes to evaluate this situation right now as he's facing the lower bracket. Be right back. What? shook from what I just witnessed on Concealed Hill. Can this work again is the question. How good is the orc brain to come up with a solution for this?
Ooh, man. I mean, I think the scouting was a bit short for Hitman. He wasn't ready for that very early Chimera Roost. But Ricky, I think you were pointing out that maybe the Bestiary was a bit late. I think there's definitely some adjustments he could make, right?
Yeah, it's really hard to adapt to Hunter pulling out a style that nobody's seen ever when your peon dies early. And I think there was 2 peon pickoffs actually in the early game. So no scouting from Hitman. Needs to be a bit more of adjustments on when your timing is, because Hunter right now, get rid of the vision and then just shock and awe. And I'm shocked, and everyone else must be in awe, because that was one hell of a game on Concealed Hill.
How good is Hitman in coming back into seriousness? Is he as shaken as we are from map 1, or is it just, okay, that was a one-off, I know my mistakes, next game I play clean and then I beat him?
This one's yours, Ricky.
Hitman is not tilted at all. It's actually incredible how he composed himself. It's almost permanently in his head. The score is 0-0. He's not tilted at all, Neil, fortunately. So we're going to see a possible... He's been down before, come back, totally composed. We ask him, do you feel pressure? And he goes, well, you know, I hate losing, but no, I don't go into it tilted at all, because there's no point. It's a different map now. It's a different game that we play each and every map. So good mindset to look at it, Neo. But no, this is a composed Hitman today.
And he definitely looks like it. Not shaken at all, not worried at all. Barely even movement here. We load into map number 2. It's getting cold. We're going north. It's Northern Isles right here. And Hunter, is he getting nervous? Sometimes we see it being too close to victory. The Icarus style, flying too close to the sun, can hurt and burn your wings. That is the question for map number 2. Will we have the 3-time DreamHack champion in the lower bracket after day 1? Let's go Northern. Was a day full of 2-0s, Carson. Can we stop that finally? Can we get a full best of 3?
Possibly. Hopefully. I mean, if Hunter was able to upset Hitman, that would be a very big deal for not just this tournament, but the entire scene. So, you know, we'll see. I think either way we shake it. If there's a nice comeback, it would be cool to see. But if there's a big upset, not too bad to see either.
All right, then. We got Hunter in the yellow, spawning in the bottom left once again, going for that Keeper of the Grove that we've seen on Concealed. Hitman, I guess there's barely a way to see him playing Farseer, right? So, Blade Master it is.
Yeah, I was almost a little curious by the Ancient War positioning early by Hunter. This is sometimes what we'll see if we see a Demon Hunter first on this map, in some other matchups, of course. Night Elf Mirror comes to mind, because you go for that permanent item as opposed to that consumable item for the Demon Hunter, which is a big front line, but it will be a keeper, just a bit of a safer Ancient of War. Of course, there is a build which we remember Lin doing against Neutron in the past, where you speed scroll across when the Night Elf is going for that big orange camp to the north of his base right now. And we've seen people lose their Ancient Wars there. So maybe Hunter, like you point out, I think that's a beautiful point. Is he getting nervous? Is he playing too safe? Because Hitman's going to take advantage of that if Hunter is playing too safe.
Oh yeah, he's going to rip his head off if he gives him an inch of space in this matchup. This map alone is already like a testament of strength for the South American region, even though Hunter is, of course, living in the USA at the moment. But we've seen players like AEB rise. Mist is currently, or was very, very close to qualifying. The entire Brazilian scene, thanks to Forks, is doing amazing. Like showing up in Cups. South America seems to be very hyped about WarCraft at the moment.
Yeah, it's been great to see so many, especially Brazilian players showing up in these Open Cups every single week. It's been awesome to see, and they're always very supportive and hype of their players from their region. You know, just like we are at least in North America as well, and in Europe, of course. You know, Xlord, a big fan of the European players when it comes to competing. But we'll see if Hitman shows up to compete as he goes to try to deny this level 2 creep, but he can't deny the level 2.
Ooh, sweet play by Hunter once again. Cancelled the healing, used the entangle, so there was no lasted possibility for the Blade Master. So this tiny little extra experience from this one Murloc goes to Hunter, who is safe in his base now. Blade Master, a little afraid of that Engine of War, moves back, still shocking around.
Neil, you're an old school guy. You remember what this base build means. The Ancient War in the front, the one archer hiding in the back, the Moonwells. This is classic Talons. If there's a Demon Hunter on the field, you would be saying, oh, this is like, Moon in 2007. This is Remind in 2009. This is a classic base build from Hunter. I think we're going to see Talons again.
Yeah, if you shut the door, you're hiding talents, that's for sure. I've seen many of my orc brothers getting trapped in those bases as well. Shout out to Zokol, WC3 in Cologne.
Beautiful game.
Yeah.
Mr. Meadows.
Yeah, depends. If you're a Zokol fan, it wasn't too beautiful, but I definitely remember that. But Hitman is, of course, not falling for this, and he saw this build as well, and if I know something, then Hitman knows something 3 times.
Yeah, he's probably well aware of what's going on, and he's going to make the proper adjustments, at least you hope if you're a Hitman fan. But for now, the adjustment is just to chase the Keeper around. Of course, you don't want to let the Keeper get level 3, or he can go for tier 2 cancels. He can really pressure your Shadowhunters creeping on tier 2. So the right play for now is just for these 2 heroes to dance around the map all day.
Okay, we kind of criticized that the scouting wasn't on point for Hitman in game 1 so far. I see nothing roaming around, no peon, no grunt. In the meantime, Hunter has a wisp here. He saw exactly what's coming. And that is again Shadowhunter Lodge.
Yep, pretty standard, all things considered, but of course it will be a wind and a tier 3 tech and a Demon Hunter. Hunter is going to play the same thing. I'm really interested to see if he goes for that early Chimera Roost again, or maybe he throws another curveball Hitman's way and goes for something like that expansion that we are missing. Of course, and I mentioned last game, there were a couple adjustments he could have made. That Ancient War being in position for another creep to get that Demon Hunter to level 3, and of course the shot being on time for the early orb, or some adjustments Hunter can make. And, he was already, of course, looking good on game 1, so.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that he could have played this even better. And made this even more one-sided.
Yeah.
Archer being saved once again. The Bouncer, Engine of War. Blade Master, not like this, my friend. Not like this. And Blade Master has barely any experience.
Yeah, he just got the item, I guess, from his green camp before, and the Shadowhunter is trying to, gobble up the rest of that experience, but the Keeper is lurking in the shadows with full mana. Note there's no Shaman out quite yet, so it's going to be quite a while. If one of those grunts gets double entangled, it could go down, but that's why the Blade Master's in position to defend the army, defend the Shadowhunter. He's going to get level 2 Hitman, but still going to be quite a while before he can get level 3, especially with now the Demon Hunter lurking around as well, but scouted.
Okay, mana burn. But also, again, same situation as on CH. Keeper, also barely any experience. He's like, the entire world is fixated on that level 3 Keeper on pretty much every map. But Hunter is just throwing a curveball once more. Doesn't really care about that. I guess it would be nice for him, but it's not an essential part of the strategy.
Yeah, worth noting as well, Hitman got that crystal ball, which isn't the ideal drop from the expansion, but it did enable him to reveal the main base at least, confirming the Talons, which he probably already knew, but it can confirm other things. Is there a Huntress Hall coming up? Is there a Chimera Roost coming up? But I would expect if Hunter's going to go into that Chimera Roost or an expansion, it's going to be elsewhere. It's not going to be in the main base. So Hitman's going to, again, have to do something else other than just use that crystal ball off cooldown to get the information he needs.
What do we got so far? No Chimera Roost, but he's pooling the talents. They're hugging the Tree of Eternity. Master Training is coming, and just like in the good old days, we're only moving out once the Master Training is done.
Yeah, and the creeping will be so fast with that magic damage yet again. You can't take the fountains with the crow form, but you can take the shop, the marketplace. A lot of those creeps have heavy armor. The archer may be going to fall. It's kind of nice to keep that alive if you're Hunter to deal with the serpent wards, because of course they are magic immune, so the Talons can't deal with those. So nice to use. No Staff of Preservation, note if this Demon Hunter is cut out of position, might have to be a town portal.
Oh, Hitman smelling blood in the water, but there is a cloak. Do we have reveal against that? There's of course a crystal ball, exactly. So in this very moment, not the worst item, again, as he scanned the base before, now saving him this situation as well. And Hitman setting up an expansion. Tower plus Great Hall. No reinforced defenses yet, but I guess he's working on it. Oh yeah, he's very well working on it. 3/4 done. Shaman upgrade. This game looks already a lot better for Hitman.
Yeah, worth noting though that Hunter did Town Portal around the same timing last game, but there's also adjustments being made by Hitman to make it look better for him. He's staying on Tier 2, getting the Beast area, the Tier 2 expansion with the fortified towers. Yeah, they are fortified now. The upgrade just finished, so Hitman...
Blade has no
Oh
mana.
my god!
It's
Oh no, Hitman!
It's only level 1, of course, but this is quite a loss here that you really don't want to. Another purge being used to save that shaman, so there's not too many purges left.
Yeah, and like you pointed out last game, there's Mana Burn, there's Fairy Fire, Cyclone, Treants, and Tangle, and there's a Surround almost on the Demon Hunter, but can you fight without your first hero? And there's a Cloak to save it. Now the Tinker's up, and the one tower, the one watchtower at the expansion is going to be so strong for Hitman. If he can fortify that position with a couple of Serpent Wards, the Blade Master, of course, gonna be out in no time, but Hitman has to hold this expansion. This is his win condition.
There is good damage against the Treants, Talons, everything. Demon Hunter again saved into the Cloak of Shadows. The win condition just broke, and we raised the question, like, will Hunter play a little too careful? Maybe not. Oh, reveal being used. Was about to say he goes for the orb, but not for the staff. That is certainly not careful. As a result of that, the Demon Hunter goes down, but damage is done.
Yeah, nice cancel from Hunter. Maybe investing a little too much health into it, but at least he gets it. At least he doesn't have to fight down a base. But now he's going to lose a couple of Talons. And one thing Hitman didn't do perfectly there was focus that one watchtower onto Talons, or else he could have got a couple extra kills. But he's making up for it with the Headhunters in the back, with the adjustments. And it seems like Hitman's just going to be able to push forward and at least get some aggressive creep camps out of this.
Yeah, move away from the Demolishers, go for the Headhunters instead to be online a lot earlier. No Tier 3, no Burning Oil, just straight up piercing damage meta does prevail against magic talents as well. And this time, no Chimera Roosts, no Fairy Dragons. How far can Hunter push this? Everything is kinda low. He still doesn't have a staff, but floating in 500 gold.
Yeah, and he was floating in 1,500 last game that he transitioned it into, into Chimeras, of course. But now this is a decent creepjack. Kills a Grunt, about to kill a Shaman. The wards, again, aren't being focused by Hitman, but the Tinker's getting low.
Okay, Cyclone to heal against, to help with that. But I guess the backstab is gonna get him, exactly. Shaman, super low. Shadow Hunter in a precarious situation. Hunter is using a ton of mana, of course, for all these Cyclones. Does get a surround here in the Shadow Hunter. He's not allowed to fall.
Can he hold it? Wanda Mana Stealing and Mana Stone. Level 4 Shadow Hunter as well, killing a couple of Talons. Now Hitman's focus firing those, but the Shadow Hunter's gonna fall. The Demon Hunter gonna fall as well. Both heroes fall, both secondary heroes. Raider comes in. They're both trading everything. The Blade Master cannot fall, however, though. I think it's down, though, Neo.
Are you kidding me? This is a double kill for Hunter. My lord, what a slugfest. What a slobber knocker on map 2. On the back of this, of course, the expansion and 2 towers. Look at okay. It was only a level 1 Blade Master. The Tinker also only level 1. Can be revived in no time. On the Orc side, level 3 Blade Master, level 4 Shadow Hunter. Hitman is in a world of trouble.
He's trying to get that Shadow Hunter back. He's trying to Tavern the Blade, but the Talons are always lurking around, and there's just not a lot of Shaman mana. There's only, what, 1 Purge right now, soon to be 2, but the Raider's going to fall. The expansion is, of course, up, but I think it's breakable. Only 2 towers. There's a third going up, but there's 3 towers at the expansion to Hitman. Hunter's going to have to counter-expand or get some sort of siege damage, which we at least saw last game, so we know he's capable of doing so.
Yeah, that would take quite some time, though. Get these 2 Chimera Roosts up, get the Chimeras out, go for Corrosive Breath. That is time that goes down the well. Okay.
Players' forces are under attack.
Hitman, what can you do at the moment? I mean, he's picking up units. That's nice. He has to be so careful. He wants this Tavern Revive. He needs that Tavern Revive, I guess, but he's not getting it.
But eventually, Hunter's going to have to move away from this Tavern, and now there's 3 towers up to Shadow Hunter, about 80% done. The Blade Master a little bit more expensive. There it goes, 510 gold. The Blade Master's back. 3 towers up, but they're going to have to be repaired to hold this expansion, and the repair is there. I don't know if Hunter... Oh, the Cyclone on the peons. That's beautifully done yet again, but I don't know if he can break 3 towers.
Oh, the lightning shield is amazing! In the middle of everything, and Talons don't have much HP. Of course, this goes for Raiders as well. If there's Fairy Fire on it, Blade Master get in focus fire. Hunter only sees the heroes, apparently. Now he switches to focus with the Blade Master in the air. All 3 heroes, another End Snap. Blade Master back on the ground. Does he have something? Heal Scroll only, no Invo Potion, and the Blade falls again. It's a straight up dieback.
Blade Master dead yet again. The heroes are kind of getting out of control soon for Hunter. Once he gets 3 on the Tinker, 3 on the Demon Hunter, the towers are going to fall yet again. The Shadow Hunter is back with a Mana Pot. Used the Mana Stone, worth noting, before he died before, so that Mana Stone not online, but are the wards enough? 2 towers fall, 1 still holding, but I think Hunter might be breaking this expansion. Oh my god, can you believe it?
The 5th debutant today. They all were slaughtered 0-2, but here is Hunter Cito, close to a 2-0 over the 3-time American champion. I cannot believe my eyes. What is left in the tank for Hitman? We're close to a major upset. It is now Hunter's game to throw.
Oh, the Demon Hunter's getting low. There's only a Staff of Preservation. The Demon Hunter falls now. The Tinker about to fall. The Staff of Preservation's on the wrong hero. The boot's on the wrong foot, Neo, and the Tinker's gonna fall as well. Is Hitman holding? The Shadow Hunter's gonna be level 5. He's held the expansion. He only lost towers. Oh, but you gotta be so careful. The Entangle, the Cyclone, could net Hunter another hero kill, and that's what he's going for. The surround is there. Can he hold it?
New snakes. You don't want to be in that snake pit. Hunter, he can't close the surround once again. And Hitman, the lifeline is the Shadow Hunter. And he was there right in time. Like Gandalf and Lord of the Rings was the Shadow Hunter here on Northern Isles. What a game. He does hold.
Jesus. Okay, and now Hitman probably shook, probably terrified for this series, but Hunter's still going to be fighting. The real issue is he kind of ran out of steam and gonna have to buy a heal scroll just to stay alive, but Hitman's playing confident yet again. The Demon Hunter could die potentially. What could he purchase? An invuln, but he's got no gold for the invuln, so I think Hitman has held the expansion. I think he's held game 2, and he's gonna probably be seeing Last Refuge in this series.
Which is, of course, an amazing talent map, just saying. Blade Master is back, Hitman on 2 bases, and now Hunter, what's left in the tank. He has to revive the Tinker level 2, that will take some time. A lot of mana yet again was used. Hunter down to 38, and now Hitman, the confidence, oozing confidence. Just has to make sure there's no expansion, there's no talents, there's no surprises. This expo should be saved by now. And he can walk this home. Did I curse Hunter there? Or what just happened?
Man, he was so close to breaking that expansion, but now when it rains, it pours. Pendant of Energy for that level 5 Shadow Hunter that already has a potion of mana. The Demon Heart's level 3. The heroes are still strong for Hunter, and Talons can still fight, but there's a lot of Headhunters. This is such an unorthodox army. 2 Raiders, a handful of Headhunters, a couple of Shamans, and now the pressure is mounting onto Hunter's base. Can he hold? The Ancient War still in position from that wall from the early game.
Pillage is coming as well, 60% done. Extra income, of course, if the Raiders attack buildings then. Snake Pit reopened, reinforcements streaming in. Hunter...
Sapper?
Oh.
Sapper the Expo, Sapper the Expo. Will it connect? This could be big for Hunter.
Oh, he doesn't see it! Boom, there we go. Tower down, burrow down. Another turnaround right here. Can he kick this Great Hall? Or is it too late for that? Raiders, of course, approaching the Tree of Eternity. Heavy decision making. There's, I think, no T. Oh, there is a TP on Hitman. Is he making the calls to go home and defend?
Yeah, Hunter certainly can't town portal into this, so the main base is going to go down. If he town portals, look at the Snake Pit, right? You cannot town portal, but it's going to go down right before the TP. That's the main base traded for the expansion. Well worth it for Hitman, who can town portal back home now to just defend his main, and there's just no way. There's no win condition. There's no out for Hunter. Does he have Wisp somewhere on the map? He does indeed. He's got gold at least for a Moonwell, but all the buildings are falling, Neo. I think this is game.
Exactly. Is there another building in the north, Hunter? Otherwise, you have only 2 left. So far, I can't see one, and this might be the end for Hunter in game 2. Does he realize that this is the last building? Is this the last building even? I do think so. town portal home now. Oh boy.
Right, the wards are killing. The Moonwell back at Hunter's base as his last building, but look at all the piercing damage, and of course, no way now to save. I guess you could staff a hero back to that single Moonwell for Hunter if he does get in dire straits, but the Lightning Shield yet again on these Raiders, time and time again, and there's just too much damage.
Unbelievable. The composure of Hitman is admirable. It's raining lightning and Hitman takes map number 2. We go full distance.
Pepper needs new shorts.
Oh
Unbelievable. What a game. What a game. I thought Hitman was out. I think we all thought Hitman was out. The Serpent Wards are so good there with the expansion timing. Hitman held out with no heroes, guys. The Shadowhunter came out and he barely scraped through. Oh, man, what a game.
Yeah, that third tower, crucial for Hitman. If he only had 2 there, they both die. The peons start to fall to a pocket factory, treants. It can be very tricky, but having that third tower, having the shop at the back, worth noting as well for Hitman. He had just enough to hold on to the expansion, and although he's losing heroes, he's losing the towers, he's still mining off that second base, and he manages to scrape together a tier 2 army that can fight the Talons, and that's all it takes. He just barely holds on, my lord.
ESL and DreamHack hired a very, very good scriptwriter from Hollywood for this series. Europe was a little tame, but now we go game 3. Can Hitman strike back again and take the series 2-1, or can Hunter strike back and come up with something new? One last break, and then we determine the first winner bracket finalist of the Group of Death. Full out best of 3 for the first time in the 2021 season. Hitman, a little tougher task here today than expected, I guess. 1-1 over Hunter. Players are ready. We are ready. Last refuge it is. Bidu, your prediction.
Oh man, I mean, how do you even do that? This is crazy. One thing's for sure, I can't even predict this group or this summer season. That's for sure. Last refuge, Orc versus Night Elf. We could see anything coming from Hunter, and we saw the adjustments in Game 2 from Hitman, like on the fly. Skip tier 3, go for an expansion. I'm gonna put down towers and hold the slow and fashion way. Both players are on point. This is gonna be sick. Prediction? I have no idea. I can't do it. I can't do it. No.
You're really not giving us anything? You're shying away from a
2-1 Hunter! 2-1 Hunter, Victor, I'm sorry! Oh.
First he's gonna, he's opening a war with Cruncher, and now he's opening a war with Hitman. That's a real good team manager for Dust Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. A real good map 3 is actually Last Refuge, because this fits the talent style the best. We go full distance, Game 3, Last Refuge, Hitman, Hunter. Carson, can barely contain myself. That was some hype games.
Ooh, and it's going to be a hype game 3, I'm sure. This is definitely a good map, as you point out, for the talents. So we'll see. It's even a good map for Demon Hunter talents. But of course, much more telegraphed is that strategy. So we'll see. But yeah, very, very close. Neck and neck series so far.
Keeper it is. Blade Master it is. We might change up a lot, but not the first heroes. So Hunter came into this with a new strategy, won the first map. Hitman adjusting on the fly, super quick, wins game 2. What's the response of Hunter to this adjustment of Hitman? That's the story of game 3, I think.
Right, yeah, the big question is, would you play pure standard against Hitman? Would you play the Archer Huntress early expansion with an Alchemist second style that we've seen so commonly, like pretty much everywhere, even in the Americas recently too? It's been very, very common, but you know, another adjustment you could make, perhaps going Lords, going for Dryads, go for late Mountain Giants is almost what he beat Hitman with on Monday in ESL Open Cup. So we'll see. There's definitely some variability for Hunter, but the question is, does he have the stones to switch it up? About to be knocked out in game 3. Well, not knocked out, but you know what I mean. Dramatic.
Facing the lower bracket. Yep.
Yeah.
We do have Treants first, so Grunts and Blade Master are free to reign. Quite interesting. If we look at the channel point prediction, Hitman going into this series as the huge favorite, and now it's basically 50-50 with now. Wow. Yeah, now Hitman getting quite a bit of an advantage, but the early stage of that channel point prediction was super duper close. We have the Blade Master creeping with the Grunt here, so no super early aggression. Starting off nicely with Sentry Wards and Circlet.
We're seeing it again. Moonwell blocking the front. Ancient Ward there to bounce, and protecting the Moonwells is Hunter. Does not want the Wellsprings to be defiled, but the Blade Master's coming in for perhaps a cancel on that third Moonwell if he could. It's not that impactful though, really. It lowers the Moon Juice by a bit, but really what is impactful is stopping the Keeper from creeping, so maybe he's going to do that, but for now, going to get the second Priest. He's already got Wards, which we saw the effectiveness in game 1. What's he going to get now? Illusion's probably the best he could get here.
Oh yeah, on Last Refuge, always. Super curious. Oh, he gets the Illusion. Carson, you and your calls, man. You're stealing my prophet name someday. By the way, Hitman skipped the shop, so no selves, no clarities, no speed scroll for him in the early.
Yeah, there is always an issue sometimes of Orc players forgetting their shop when they do this opener on Last Refuge, and then it gets canceled, and then their Blade's half health with no mana, and you know what? There's a tier 2 push coming your way sometimes, so luckily for Hitman's sake, he did not at least forget that shop. Gonna heal up now and get mana, more importantly. And the Grunt actually finds the Keeper too, so Hitman, all the info in the world, and with that Illusion worth noting, he can go for a much greedier opening creep out with the Shadow Hunter. He can pull the Merc camp with the Illusion and creep that immediately. So look to see Hitman go for that early on tier 2.
Wow. That will be very, very good creeping. And we saw in map to exactly how dangerous the snake pit is. You mentioned it. And this is the same old problem of Hunter in a new extreme. Last Refuge, a map where you can not really creep the keeper very well. So instead of not having level 3, we don't even get level 2. And that means no entangle, no control on this blade.
Yeah, and really how much damage we've seen these sort of tier 3 timings from Hunter, but how much damage can you do with those? Like, you got the burrow in the first game, you know, you of course got a bunch of heroes last game, but if you're only level 1 and without entangle as it is treants, of course, like, what can you really do? And Hitman's going to definitely ensure this keeper doesn't creep anything big, and the Ancient of War, as I keep pointing out, does not move away from the main base for Hunter because he's trying to keep the wins safe against any potential cancels.
True, can't use them here. The shop being built outside the base creates a little opening for the Demon Hunter that's coming. Tier 3 on the way, second wind, no big macro mistakes by Hunter throughout the entire series, which is very cool to see. This time, another switch up.
Oh my god.
This is straight up Radar Walker.
Very interesting. You know, you may remember this game very well, but against Loliot, I don't know if it was Keeper Talons, but it was certainly Talons on this map, Hitman against Loliot at Anaheim. Hitman went for a big timing with level 3 Shadowhunter against the Talons of Loliot. With, I believe it was Raider Walker, maybe it was Shaman Grunt, but especially with Raider Walker, you can go for a big push into the main base if you're able to creep cleanly. So maybe we're going to see Hitman just go for an all-out attack, and that shop you mentioned in the front could definitely play a factor. That could be a big deal if that goes down early, if there is this sort of an early timing for Hitman.
Yeah, if Hitman comes from the right-hand side. If he comes from the north, it's of course very well protected, and this is usually the route for orcs trying to storm through the left-hand side instead of the right-hand side, because then there's a crazy choke, and you don't want to be in a choke so the raiders don't attack. Lab creep, Shadowhunter. Got some good time here. 3 snakes up. Grunts all healthy. Hitman doesn't lose any grunts in the early because there's still no entangle. Honestly, these heroes of Hunter are pathetic.
They're pathetic, but a couple of grunt kills could help him out. But of course, yeah, pathetic enough that he doesn't even have entangle still, I guess. Yeah, it's going to be very rough. But at least Hunter is aware of this lab creep that you mentioned. This is something Hitman does very consistently, but it's very difficult. You risk losing a couple of grunts if you go for it. So Hunter, that creep, that's a very big deal for him. And now the Shadowhunter is still very low in experience, so it's low experience all across the board, I suppose.
True that. Lots of harassment, lots of running around, a lot of scouting. And now Hitman committing to a couple of creep spots. That's level 2, and that is so big for the heal wave to keep everything that's poisoned up healthy. Even throwing the first end snares of the game. These treants, of course, give good experience as well. And Hunter being blocked here, that's the real Hitman. I don't want to say final form because there's plenty of games where he can prove his skills, but this is what I expected from game 1 on.
Yeah, absolutely. This is pure domination, and Hunter's still not really able to get online. That level 1 keeper is still a reality for the Peruvian, and he's going to try to creep up now with 3 heroes instead of 2. And, you know, he's going to probably be able to get the shop with Talon's magic damage. Helps out quite a bit again against the heavy armor, but Hitman's coming across the map soon, probably with level 3 Shadowhunter, and are you going to be ready if you're in Hunter's shoes?
I mean, if you play Talons, hero levels are not that important as, for example, for an orc, or if I don't know, if you play undead or something, but you would love to have entangle. Finally get that now. You would love to have evasion. You would love to burn the Shadowhunters more mana so he can't get the snakes up. That is absolutely not the case. What happens if you give Hitman more time now?
You might be seeing an expansion from Hitman if you give him more time. And of course, Hunter's going to be well aware of that. He doesn't have the best wisp spread currently, and he actually hasn't been using the wisps too effectively in the fights, but that's something essential for him to do, not just for the scouting, but also to get rid of the Spirit Link is going to be crucial. But yeah, Hitman, giving him more time, looks like he's going to put down a Grey Hall. There it is.
Ooh, into the Cyclone timing. That's quite interesting. But also catching the Demon Hunter, as we mentioned, no dodge chance on the lady here. Good heal waves, good damage coming in from the Berserker. Of course, a few grunts are falling thanks to the magic damage, but Hunter is only at 37 supply.
Yeah, the Snake Pit is not set up quite yet, but the hero damage is kind of mounting on the side of Hunter. He's getting low on everything. The Tinker possibly about to fall. There's an Invuln pop, but a heal scroll and an Invuln already invested just to save. Oh, the Blade Master, though! Again, a slip up from Hitman, losing the first hero, and a lot of units all of a sudden are very low. And this is a canceled Great Hall.
I start to question if Hitman watches too many Fly games.
Seems he's getting inspired, apparently.
Looks like it. That getting cancelled, maybe a little bit too ambitious, but what this does is Hunter pushing forward and moving himself to the upper left-hand side where there's not much experience. Of course, you can go to the nulls and the high ground, but that is to be expected, can be creep-jacked, and Hitman even making sure that this turtle camp is not being stolen as well. So, in the meantime, Hitman can just continue creeping. Maybe it was just a strategical expansion, and in that, a very, very smart move.
Yeah, and the Moon Juice is getting very, very low as we see a Moonstone being used for Hunter to try to remedy that issue. But yeah, if you can't heal up these heroes, you of course don't have bears. You don't have that Alchemist for heal spray. It's very difficult to get these all half HP Night Elf heroes up, as we see Hunter even buying potions to heal up his Tinker. So the next fight, if they have to, for instance, fight over one of these red camps on the high ground that you mentioned, it could be very rough for Hunter once that Blade Master's back.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. One of the wind for some additional Cyclone can save some mana, I guess. Orb for more damage, potion to keep the Tinker safe, and a staff plus TP. What more can Hunter go for? You really don't want to go above 50 with talents to save money. Everything will be clumped up in the back line anyway, so spend your money on gold. You don't need the craziest amount of heal scrolls as you did against TC Shockwave back in the day, but Invo Potion, heal potions, etc. all very good. And Hitman trying to play it a little more careful now with the tower. Talon sees it immediately.
The town is under siege.
This is gonna be super important moments coming up.
Absolutely, and the towers did a couple of things. They didn't allow Hitman to get creepjacked as he gets the red camp for that Cloak of Flames. Not too bad, but you're going to be in the air a lot of the time. But towers will be canceled. Hunter, I would like to see him go for his own red camp, but he's looking to be very aggressive. Does he have? He's got one orb currently, going to have that second one soon. Not going above 50, of course, will allow him to get 3 in the long run, but an orb on the Tinker maybe not too effective. But okay, the high ground has been taken. The prophecy is coming true. But will Hunter want to break through these Serpent Wards now?
One day after May the 4th, will it once again remain true? And you can't lose when you have the high ground. Okay, you really don't want to push into this. It's a big mischance for all this range. Cyclone on an illusion. Very unfortunate. Tinker far forward. There's a potion. He should be safe. He should be safe, but there's so much damage going onto the wrong Blade Master.
Ooh, but it's kind of now or never. The Shadowhunter's out of mana. There's going to be one ward in a second, but Hitman's stuck. And if Hunter, okay, his Demon Hunter's low, the staff out on the Tinker, the Demon Hunter's going to have to be forced into an Invuln, but the Talons have not been hurt. There's still a lot of mana. There's a lot of Cyclones. Oh, but the Town Portal out. Okay, Hitman finds a way. If there was just enough health on these heroes for Hunter, I feel like he can push Hitman into a corner and maybe close out the game because no mana on the Shadowhunter. But Hitman holds on. And we're back to both players. Well, one player at least above upkeep now, so economic edge for the Night Elf.
You were totally right. There was no TP. I kind of forgot about that. That could have gone sideways for Hitman if there's another mana burn or just a focus fire on that Walker, as Ethereal Form doesn't really save him from Talons, does it? Also, 2 Raiders, super duper hurt. Got a lot of mana on these walkers now. More and more coming. 60 pop for Hitman. He cancelled his expansion plans once again, but he's also keeping Hunter below level 3, who now adds Fairy Dragons.
Fairy Dragons are going to be very important against those walkers. They do a maximum of 100 damage now, and you know what? That's how much mana the walkers are going to be using for those disenchants. So they're going to be doing a ton of damage. And is there heal scrolls for Hitman? No, there isn't. So this is going to be a lot of damage. Look at the Fairy Dragon putting in work. And there's no bats on the field right now.
Okay, who got the Ogre Major? I think it was the Blade Master. Book of the Dead here can be pretty cool, as there is no Dispel in this army, of course, if you don't pull any Wisps. Hitman again, stalling time, needs a heal scroll pretty soon, I guess. Going for the Tinker once again, always the first target. This entire army so low.
Nice heal scroll timing. When are we going to see that Book of the Dead that you're mentioning? Because I think it would be beautiful here. No wisps in position. There it is on top of the Talons. That's going to be a couple of kills. Another Town Portal out for Hunter, who's losing a lot of Talons now. And you know what? Hitman towering up the high ground. And I think Hitman is looking in a pretty strong position to take map 3 if Hunter doesn't get something done right now.
Looks like it. Again, no expansion, backup plans or anything. It's just Talons, 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 and a couple of items. Still an Invo Potion, but that's about it. And here comes the expansion. Hitman expanding at 53. Kind of rare to see. But yeah, he needs every unit to defend this.
Yeah, he's rallying up to defend the high ground. Hunter rallying up to take the red camp, and he's going to get it. Warsong Battle Drums, all right on the heroes, on the Talons. You know, +1 damage. I guess you can't complain with it, but the Blade Master sees all. And is Hitman going to go for some sort of attack? No, he's just going to try to creep up his Shadow Hunter, I suppose, to level 5, and he's very close to Shadow level 5. And Hunter also very close to Tinker 3, Demon 3, and Keeper is already safely on level 3. So one more camp for either of these players is going to mean great hero levels.
Yeah, huge hero levels for sure. But what can Hunter really creep? The lab is gone. Both might be fighting over the Merc camp. Hitman could fall back and go for the Knolls, if I'm not mistaken. Cloak of Flames now sold. Heal Scroll. Invo Potion not available.
Yeah, that invuln's going to be very important if Hitman can get his hands on one, of course, to counteract the Cyclone so he can go for some sort of a focus fire on one of these heroes that are lacking a Town Portal on the side of Hunter. Of course, both players seem to be lacking a Town Portal, and this Rock Golem that you mentioned they're fighting over is going to be very important, but it's hard to kill with just the Talons. Pocket Factory in a good position, Fairy Dragon in a good position, but there's so many snakes to the back of this fight.
Yeah, you can't really get lured into this position. Level 3 Demon Hunter. This could be massive if you are able to reach the Shadow Hunter especially, who now got level 5. So everybody got their important levels, I guess. This might be do or die right here. 57 versus 47. Hunter trying to lure Hitman into that choke where the Raiders are clumped up, where you can use the Cyclone. Mercenary camp goes to the Peruvian. Is there something of interest in? There might be a Berserker or Mauler. A Berserker it is, not part of the fight at the moment. Fairy Fire again on the Blade Master. Cyclone, a lot of Raiders. Can they reach the background? Pocket Factory taken out in a matter of seconds. Focus Fire is good though.
The damage is mounting from those orbs, and the Fairy Fire is going to help out quite a bit to the tail end of this fight once the Walkers run out of mana, which they are starting to slowly run dry. But remember, the expansion about to be up for Hitman. So he's just trying to buy time, but he can't lose a hero again. This is a true possibility with the Entangle, with now the Cluster Rockets. When the last time you saw that with Talons, that's pretty cool. That's a classic Moon skill choice from Hunter.
Man, we saw Cluster Rockets in Europe already earlier today, and now also in America. Rockets all the way. It's Dispel trying to save this Walker. Hitman lost quite a bit, but the Expo is up and the towers are as well. But the Expo is not saturated. He lacks peons. There is a slide coming over, and Hunter doesn't detect that. That would have been big. And the game is still somewhat on a knife's edge.
Yeah, it's still pretty close. Definitely a possibility for Hunter to win the fight despite being down in supply for quite a while and now in economy. But he still has a great chance to win a fight. He does have that double orb that I keep mentioning over and over and over again. No triple yet, but, you know, intelligence melee hero. Can't complain with that. Wards are going to do incredible damage. Of course, the guard towers up on the high ground, or the watchtowers rather, will also. So Hunter's got to find some sort of a space to attack in, but look at this positioning. I don't see him fighting into this.
Berserker on Hitman's side as well. Blade Master, how long can he reign? He's up in the air pretty much immediately. Raider nicely saved by a heal wave, but Treants, can he dispel against that? It's good experience, of course, as well. We haven't seen a second set of Cluster Rockets here. Maybe not necessary. Maybe it should have been a surprise, and now he lacks the passive. Everything's super low thanks to Spirit Link. Everything is about to drop, as well as the Tinker level 5 from the Blade Master. Demon Hunter is super hurt in the back as well. Is there a way to save her under the net? I don't think so. Blade Master once again cycloned up, but that must be the end. Double kill for Hitman. The 3-time champion was struggling, but he makes it to the finish line. As it seems, more and more talents are falling, and this is a triple kill in a couple of seconds here as he throws more and more and snares these talents. 1, 2, 3, 4, quad kill, ladies and gentlemen. Now in the late game stages, Hitman Wipes the floor with Hunter. We almost have a twice the supply lead.
Hunter's gonna try, but he's gonna have to get 2 level 3 heroes back from what seemingly is the altar now. Doesn't even have the lumber to go to the tavern if he had the gold. It's gonna be quite a while. I don't think Hunter knows this expansion is up, or he would do that. And GG, and Hitman just scrapes by. Like, that was very surprising, despite Hunter